Bada boom, bada bang, bada Barefoot Mafia back in the house putting in work with the lowest stack shoe in the game, Adidas Adios 9. Now, I've been out here all week cold. I told you yesterday, and I'm cold right now because I've been out here for 27 minutes actually. But I told you yesterday, we're launching a new community challenge on the Supwell app, and it went live last night. So here's the deal. If you want to make your winter miles more fun, you've got to get on the Supwell app. We're doing a challenge where all it takes is posting one run to the Run Reports channel. So the Run Reports channel is where we post our runs, talk about our experiences with the runs, with the shoes. We also do have a dedicated reviews channel, but all you have to do is sign up for the Supwell app, post one run to the Run Reports channel. You'll be entered to win a free daily trainer. Now, there's also an entire, and it's not just daily trainer this time, it's any shoe. So you could even get a race shoe if you win, and that's going to be a lottery style. But there's also prizes in 5 different categories. So most consistent, earliest riser, coldest run, most treadmill runs, that's going to be a fun one, and best dressed. And by the way, it's going to be January 10th to January 31st. So you can post any of your old runs if you're late, I guess, if you want to be considered for the best treadmill runs. But just get on there right now. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a way for us to make these winter miles less terrible. My hand is really cold. Enjoy today's video. I have to show this, I'm sorry. Literally insane. This is one of the best things you've ever created. Homemade sourdough naan. It legit tastes like naan from the best Indian restaurant. Wild. Let's get to it, man. We have one of the most anticipated shoes since gosh dang 2023. Remember the year of our Lord 2023? What happened in 2023? That felt like ages ago. That was when I started this YouTube channel, actually. That was when I went to the running event. And that was when we first laid eyes on the Adidas Adios 9. And guess what happened since then? About 18 months ago or longer since we first saw leaks of the Adios 9. Well, they've released the Takumi Sen 10. They've released the SL2. They've released the Adios Pro 4. They have not released an update to the Boston. They have released 2 versions of the Supernova Rise. They've released the Ultra Boost, a new edition of the Ultra Boost. They've probably released 37 colorways of the Ultra Boost. Point being, this shoe was first teased so long ago. I have no idea what took it this long to come out. Maybe it was something with them finalizing the foam, because the foam in the Adios Pro 4 is a lot different than the Pro 3. I'm not going to get into my thoughts on that yet, but if you've watched my videos on the Pro 4, you know. But here we have it. This was supposed to come out, man. I was told September 2024. It was teased in November 2023, and it's finally dropped. I bought this from Running Warehouse. If you are going to buy any new shoes, you already know what it is. Make sure to use Running Warehouse. And if you're on the Supwell app, there's a discount code. Look at this. I finally restocked on Morton. My long runs for a while there were going Mortonless. I actually did pick up some Morton from Fleet Feet, but don't shop at Fleet Feet. Only emergency gels. And guess what? If you do this, you won't really need to do emergency gels because you can just stock and you get 10% off of these bad boys. And this is not cheap. These are not cheap. Look at that. What was it? $52 for the caffeinated and $45 for the non-caffeinated. So you get at least $10 off of that. Not bad. That's a new pair of socks or something. Socks are like $20 now. It's crazy. Anyway, Adidas Adios 9. What is this? This is Barefoot Mafia striking back. This is the return of low stack. This is streamlined, true minimalist, lightweight speed footwear in 2025. Now we have the Takumi Sen 10, which is their 5K, 10K racing shoe. This is even lower to the ground. It's even lighter weight. It's lower than the Pacer. This might be one of the lightest weight, lowest stack shoes on the market. We'll see once we measure it in. But man, this is a stripped down shoe. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it gives us Rebel V3 vibes, because I know I'm all max cushion gang right now, but there is still a place in the market for these types of shoes. We occasionally have to go to the Barefoot Mafia territory and do some dirty work, and that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So let's take a look. This colorway is, I think, fire. I might need to stop saying fire for a little bit. Let's see. Bada boom. Bada bang. Ooh, yeah, this is a looker. Hey. So this looks the exact same as the Adios Pro, and I absolutely love that Adidas does this. Let me see if I can get the right lighting. Let's see. That's better. Hold on. I think that's better. Yeah, I like that Adidas does this across all of their Adizero shoes. They give them a similar aesthetic. This looks like the Evo SL, which looks like the Adios Pro 4. Nice thing though, let me actually go grab those shoes. And man, that's a good looking shoe right there. So I have the Evo SL and the Adios Pro 4. Nice thing is on the Adios, the standard Adios 9, it does not have the super cheap upper of the Evo SL, even though the Evo SL is more expensive. The Evo SL is $150. The Adios is $140. It has the super nice, lightweight, nice and refined upper of the Adios Pro 4 of the marathon racing shoe. So this is not a racing shoe. This is a speed work, a track shoe. It could be a racing flat if that's your vibe, but I started running in 2020, the year of our Lord 2020. So I know nothing about racing flats. I am so glad I came into the game when max cushion shoes were here, because man, if I had to run in shoes that look like this when I was 190 pounds, let me tell you, probably wouldn't have been running for very long. It does not look very protective, but it does have a decent amount of stack. I mean, even compared to what was in the Nike, I should pull it out, my old Nike Epic React. It looks similar, but let's see. Pushing in this foam here. I'm trying to see. This seems, I don't know if this is the new version of Light Strike Pro or the old, but it doesn't feel to the touch here. Yeah, it doesn't feel as soft as the Adios Pro 4. It's also possible just because there's such a large chunk of non-plated foam in the heel below the rods that this just feels softer and squishier, but pushing it in, this feels more like the foam in the Evo SL. And let's get a close-up visual of these two. Those foams look identical. So I'm not sure how they're positioning it and whether they're saying it's more similar to the new formulation or the old formulation, but to the touch here feels slightly firmer than what we see in the racing shoe, the Adios Pro 4, which is nice. I'm hoping this isn't super soft and squishy. So you do have Light Strike Pro stamped on the front. Looks are nice. You also have the updated outsole here, so the light traction, which is the same as the Audio. The reason I keep hesitating is because this is Adios and this is Adios Pro 4. So the racing shoe, the marathon racing shoe, Adios Pro 4, that debuted this light traction outsole, and it's the same compound. So the Continental, this is what Adidas has been loved in the shoe sicko community for. Adidas and Puma, the two best grips out there. You just get this one launch pad, traction pad up here for toe off, and then the rest of it is light traction. So it's actually supposed to snow tomorrow. I don't think it's supposed to snow till noon, so I'll probably get my run this before, but I was actually hoping it was going to snow in the morning because that would be fun, right? Take out the Continental rubber shoe in the snow. It's not looking like that's going to happen, but we'll have to test the light traction out and see if it does as good of a job gripping the ground as this guy, the Continental rubber. So that is a change across their new generation of performance products. They're not going full Continental anymore. They're going more with this light traction to save weight. Other things, let's see. Let's see if there's a message on the heel tab. So Adios Pro 4 says this shoot too shall pass. No, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. The Adios says nothing. This is the thing. I feel like if you do it on one shoe, you have to do it on the other. Because I was really hoping to be surprised and delighted, right? Isn't that why you do this? To surprise and delight? And that's just disappointment and letdown. Oh, man. Yeah, comparing these uppers here, even more minimal in the back, it is super low cut in the Adios.
Just look at this low cut, low stack. Let's see what they say on the inside. 27 millimeters. Okay, so that's not too bad. But the thing is, if you look at the shoes that I typically train in, they have 27 millimeters in the heel. And I do like to mix it up. I will mix in a Hyperion 2 here. I'll mix in a Rebel there. Not that often recently, but yeah, Hyperion 2. I run the Pegasus Plus. I'm not running in Supermax stack shoes all of the time. More like 95% of the time. But there is a place for these shoes, even if we're just running in them once a month or twice a month. It's like doing a big strength workout, right? You don't need to be doing big strength workouts 5 times a week. You can just occasional little doses. And I'm not even so sure about the philosophy or theory that you're going to get so much more strength in your legs by running this. You know what's going to give you strength in your legs? It's not a 27 millimeter stack. It's putting up a gosh dang 27 mile double day. That's what's going to give you strength in your legs. This boy's got me fired up. Barefoot Mafia out here talking about strength from some 20 millimeter stack. Start stacking 20 mile days, 20 mile stack. All right, we're off topic. It is a lower stack shoe. It should be lighter weight. Let us weigh it in and see how it really compares. I've got to say, man, this just looks like it's worth more than $140. This is a nice looking and feeling shoe. And I'm guessing it's going to ride how it looks. Nice rocker, lightweight. It has the awesome race foam. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too soft like the Adios Pro 4 was. Let's see, yeah, some good flexibility, but it's not completely soft and swishy. This seems like it's going to be awesome. And one thing I have to give Adidas credit for is they price their shoes with some value. The Evo SL, and now I know they're doing annoying stuff with it, but this could have been a $200 shoe. This could have been a $180 shoe. And when I say they're doing annoying stuff, it's their strategy with the rollout. It wasn't available for a long time. Same thing with the Adios Pro 4, right? This goes head to head with the Alpha Fly. Now, I didn't love it for relaxed miles. I actually thought it was solid for running fast up at the front, but just felt like a complete hot mess for jogging and more of my everyday pace. But Alpha Fly, that's $300 with tax. It's what, $285? So this is $35 cheaper than the competitor. Even if you put it up against the Vaporfly, it's still cheaper. And Adios, holding this in my hands. Now, this isn't a huge competitive category right now, but they could have priced this at $160. It's a non-plated race foam shoe. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a complete banger. This might be the first low stack shoe that I've liked in a long time, but let's throw it on the scale, see where it weighs in. This has to be under 200 grams, right? I don't know, but it is Light Strike Pro. Let's just see. Yeah, there we go. 186.3. That is the new lightest weight shoe in the office here. Is that even lighter than the Evo SL? Let me check. Sorry, not Evo SL. I meant Pro Evo, the racing one. Which, by the way, I've got to do a race in this. Next marathon, I should probably just do it in this so it doesn't disintegrate. It's getting all browned and everything. So I'm not a fan of just keeping stuff and not using them. So I've got to do a race at some point soon. But let's see. I think this is lighter. Yeah, that's disgustingly light. Are you kidding me? That's 144.9 grams. Are you serious? Oh my goodness, that's half the weight. Less than half the weight of the Mag Max. Half the weight. I just ran the Glide Ride Max today. That is half the weight of the Glide Ride Max. That's just absurd. But that's not the shoe we're running in right now. The shoe we're running in right now is the Adios 9, or running in tomorrow. It's actually 6:40 right now, Thursday night. I'm trying to get ahead because tomorrow is a school day. Or sorry, it's not a school day. It's a snow day. So I'm trying to get ahead because I know in the morning Mesa's going to be here. I'm just going to have to sneak out for my run. So I have all this already shot. All I'm going to have to do in the morning is just lace these up, fire up the GoPro, and go. And then we'll just do a cheeky little breakdown. And then it's bada boom, bada bang. All right, 186 grams. For some context here, the race shoe, Marathon Racer, 212 grams. But, I mean, look at the stack difference here. 39 reported stack on the right in the Adios Pro 4, and 27 in the Adios 9. Man, the Adios 9, for some reason, this is almost the best application of this colorway, because I liked the colorway before, but it just looks so good because it's a minimal colorway, and then on this, it's so stripped down and streamlined with the pop of yellow. This is a beautiful shoe. This is a work of art. I want to get another pair just as a backup, just to not run it. This is a modern marvel. All right. I'm going to stop hyping it up, stop gassing it up. Let's put the Evo SL on. This has some more elements of comfort in it, and it's more of a speed shoe. It's not a true daily trainer, narrower heel, but I mean, compared to, and this is why it's all about reference points, right? Compared to the Adios 9, way wider, way more weight, way more padding in the upper. But if you're comparing it to the Novo Blast 5, the Novo Blast 5 has more padding. The Novo Blast 5 has a more substantial, stable feel. But it's all about reference points. So likely the Evo SL is going to take it for comfort over the Adios 9. And this shoe is getting me hyped up about all these other Adidas shoes again. Did I say I love how the way this looks? It's insane. All right, let's compare it to some of the other similar shoes. Closest shoe on the market would likely be the New Balance Rebel V4. Difference being, though, the Rebel does not have a 100% race foam. Again, another area where the Adios takes it, especially for value. But the Adios is lower to the ground and lighter by 40 grams because the Rebel is coming in at 222.5 grams. And Rebel's turned into one of the more disappointing shoes for me. There's nothing wrong with it, but each shoe that I've tested and reviewed after it in this category, I've just liked more. And so it's fallen down my list. It didn't make any of my year-end lists. Man, disappointing. It doesn't, for me, it's not standing up to everything else on the market, especially with past 100 miles on it compared to all these other shoes. So let's compare it to another one. So Rebels 140, different category here, but New Balance SC Pacer. Now this is New Balance's 5K, 10K racer. Comes in at 225 grams. They don't even actually call it 5K, 10K racer. They just call it a different racing option, but similar weight to the Rebel. And this one has a carbon plate with the 100% race foam. So this is, I prefer this over the Rebel. It's like a carbon plated bouncier Rebel, but $200 versus $140. So we'll just have to see, does the plate give us that much more pop? Whereas the Adios 9, for someone who wants a streamlined, stripped down ride, is that a bang at 140? And is that going to give you that old school connected feel and just be worth it? And then if we look inside Adidas's own lineup, this would go more head-to-head with the SC Pacer, but another lower stack fast option, Takumi Sen 10. This thing looks brand new. It's not. I actually ran a 10K PR in it a while back. It's not my 10K PR anymore, and I just did that during training. But this 216.5 grams. So these are really light. I should throw on a max cushion shoe just so you can see the difference. Hold on. So just for some comparison here, this is 216.5 grams fast speed shoe. It's the Nimbus 27. Comfortable max cushion training shoe, 317 grams. So you're getting context how light some of these speed shoes are. But some more competitors here that we'll throw on the scale and check out. On Cloud Boom Zone, this is a sleeper. Now this is heavier, 242.5. It does have some more stack, but this is a 100% race foam shoe and one of my sleepers for best speed training shoe. I didn't end up throwing it on my list at the end of the year last year because I only had a few runs in it and the value isn't there at $220, but super fun. If it weren't for price, man, this might be my favorite in this category of lighter weight. Now it's 240, but lighter weight compared to the Bostons of the world, compared to the Mach X2s of the world. This is a really good shoe that not a lot of people have tried just because of the price. Now, some of the other shoes people have tried that are really awesome options, Brooks Hyperion 2. This is going to be the benchmark really for the shoe for most people. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same exact compound as what we see in the Brooks racing shoes. It doesn't matter. It's light, it's fast, it's a daily trainer, it's a speed shoe, and it's going to be going head to head with the Adios 9. Both of these look like they're grip and rip shoes, but Hyperion 2 also has an awesome upper. Adios 9 takes it for looks, but as of now, this is my favorite of the true lower stack speed options. And then last here, we got to throw the Nike on. The competitor from Nike would be, well, they also have the Streak Fly, so I guess it would be the Streak Fly or the Pegasus Plus. Nike has a lot of shoes, and all these brands overlap, but Pegasus Plus, faster daily trainer, comes in at 270.5 grams. Maybe this would go up against more with the Adizero SL2, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's throw the Streak Fly on. These brands have so many shoes, man. But Streak Fly, let's see, 188.4 grams. So there you go. That's the only other shoe that's even close when it comes to weight. We had 186 in the Adios 9, 188 in the Streak Fly. And here's the thing. People talking about strength training this, strong feet that. I ran a 27-mile long run in the Streak Fly. You want to get strong? It's not about 27 millimeter stack. Try stacking a 27. New favorite segment here, and then we can shut it down for the night. We are doing a stack check. So we got this cool metrology lab for Christmas. We've been checking the stacks and seeing if they match up to what the brands report. Now it's funny because this says 27 millimeters here, but that would actually be the stack height of the size 9, right? This is the size 10.5, so we'll see how far off it is from it. And one thing I'm noticing too, this foam doesn't cut out. So if you look at the heel bevel, it's not cutting out super aggressively under the heel, which is nice. So I actually think this is going to be solid for heel striking. And it looks like it has just enough foam to be supportive. And this just looks so good. I don't usually get this excited about the lower stack shoes, but I've been excited about this for over a year. And when I first was reviewing this shoe or heard about it, I wasn't even running in carbon-plated shoes because I went through a period where I stopped running in carbon-plated shoes, and I was only running in lower stack shoes. So it's coming full circle. I might join Barefoot Mafia after this. Mag Max, who? All right, let's drop our stack check tool in here. We're gonna go right in the center of the O on the Adizero. Boom, comes in at 25.8. I'm gonna take another measurement, but I mean, even if that's 1 millimeter off, 2 millimeters off, that is low. That's the lowest heel stack. Yeah, 26.5. So it looks like it's around 25, 26 in the heel. Let's throw the Streak Fly on there just to see. This is a shoe that a lot of people. Ooh, gosh, that was almost gonna be super loud. Streak Fly is a shoe that a lot of people are familiar with. Streak Fly coming in at 30.4. Let's see, what else should we check? Let's check it against the Evo SL. Because Evo SL, for a lot of us marathon runners, Evo SL is a lightweight, fast option. But Adios 9 is coming in here and saying, nah, big bro, who you calling small? Who you calling small with the 25 millimeter stack? Yeah, Evo SL coming up near 37, 38. That's crazy. Is there anything else? I don't think anything else out here will even be close. Let's throw the Pacer on, but yeah, all of these shoes, which up to this point in the past year and a half, I've considered lower stack, they look like behemoths next to the Adios 9. The thing is, the Adios 9, though, it just looks so good that I'm now just becoming a convert. Yeah, Pacer's coming in at low 30s, so 31.8 to 32. Let's see Peg Plus. Nothing's even going to be close here. That's the lowest by far. Peg Plus looks giant next to this. This is probably going to be mid-30s. Oh, no, this is lower as well, 31.2. Let's see. Let me get one more measurement of that. Coming in at 32. Okay, even if there's variation, 31, 32. See, the lowest stack shoe by far, lightest weight shoe by far, narrowest probably. Let me get a little heel check and then we can close it out. Yeah, this thing is just beautifully minimal. Let me measure the Evo SL heel real quick first, because this looks like an average width heel in the back. Look at this, coming in at 86. If we look at the Peg Plus, this is millimeters, by the way. Peg Plus heel, right around the same. It's actually the same, identical to the Evo SL 86, Takumi Sen. Now we're getting narrower. 68 millimeters in the heel in the Takumi Sen. Let's check our friend, the Nike Streak Fly. Might not even tell you this width. I might just be silent. 77. Okay, let's just do it. Adios 9. This is going to be 60 now. No. Yeah, it is. It is in the 60s. 69, 69, 70. Okay, so it's not the narrowest. Takumi Sen is still narrower at around 69, 70. Let's see if the Pacer is any narrower. It's up there, though. No, the Pacer is wider. Pacer is all the way up at 77, 78 almost. Okay, so it's tied, though. It is streamlined. So lightest weight training shoe of the past year, only thing lighter than it is the $500 race shoe, lowest stack shoe, and one of the best looking shoes. We'll just have to see. My main question with this is, I joke a lot about Max Cushion Gang, but for us people who have been running in higher stack shoes, who prefer the protection, what is the ride experience going to be like? Because I have just not run in anything like this in so long, and I barely have run anything like this in my life, other than the Rebel V3. So I'm going to clean up shop here. This is an absolute, it looks like a crime scene. It legitimately looks like a crime scene in here. Look at this. Shoes everywhere. There's measuring tools. If the cops walked in right now, I don't know what they would do. But you might not be getting those daily videos for a few days. Alright, bro. First demerit. This is the type of thing that just annoys me. I was cleaning the kitchen, listening to Fantano's classic review of The Infamous by Mobb Deep, and I said, oh gosh dang, I forgot to do the QA check. And you know what? I'm not even going to fire up the camera. I'm just going to do the QA check, and if it's 1 or 2 millimeters or grams difference, I'll just tell him in the morning. But no, it's a gosh dang 4.5, 5 gram difference, which translates into some significant weight discrepancy between these two shoes, which is not something we typically see from Adidas. So right one coming in at 191.2 grams, left one coming in at 186.4 grams. I had to turn the camera on just to say that. Probably won't notice a difference on foot at all, but QA, fail. Very rare. Supwell Kitchen late night exclusive. It's 9:06 p.m. and we have cinnamon buns. Supwell Kitchen CEO doesn't like showing the process, but we got an exclusive behind the scenes pass to show the process of, would you call these buns or rolls? Cinnamon buns or cinnamon rolls? What's the difference? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, cinnamon rolls. So this is made from sourdough starter, right? You got it rising. Now we are doing the sourdough cinnamon rolls. What would you call this stage of the process? Filling. Bro, this might have more stacked than the Adios 9. This really might have more than 27 millimeters. Lick it? Yeah, I do want to lick it. Yeah, Supwell late night. Give that cinnamon one. What could be better? That's just straight up cinnamon sugar. Yeah, so okay, we can't film this. All right. She said not to film it, but I'm filming it. She can't hear me. Oh, that looks amazing. No, it's not gonna fall. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's fine. Yeah, that is a variable I never thought about. How wet the frosting is. You don't think about these things when you just eat a cinnamon roll that somebody else made. But now there's all these different variables. Cinnamon sauce viscosity. All right, we're canceled. Camera crew is banned. It was successful. It's going to be, I mean, look at that. This is last 3 miles of the marathon. You're not gonna, yes you are. You're not gonna blow up yet. Oh, it has to rise overnight? Oh, I see what you're saying. This could turn out to be a complete disaster. So far, so good. Perfect snow day breakfast. Mace's gonna be pumped. Yeah, it's gonna be so. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You bake it and it's just gonna be cinnamon bread smushed together, right? Like fire. Between some of the, oh, I see what you're saying. It's tape. It's like a slug. There's slug rolls. Look at that. That literally looks like a slug. What would happen if you just baked that?
You can. There's other things that you can do. You can like slice it in 3 and then like each side and then braid them. And then it's kind of like a babka.
Is this like monkey bread? Or is that something different? Why'd you make that face? That's something different? Or that's disrespectful? Monkey bread is way too easy. That's easier to make. Okay. No, this is blood, sweat, and cinnamon. Blood, sweat, and cinnamon rolls. That's what these are called. Wow, that middle one really got the cinnamon. Oh, these look so good. Oh, that's what happens. It's called sleep training. That's how you raise children who actually follow the rules of society and don't turn out to be criminals.
Criminals? Criminals or people who love their moms?
People with the no. We're raising children who do not have attachment issues.
No, that's not attachment issues. That's the opposite of attachment issues. I'm gonna put a little thingy over it and then hopefully they'll get it.
Alright. Well, that's beautiful. Nice work, Joes. Oh. Wow, those look wild. Yeah.
They're not supposed to look wild.
No, wild, like, wild good. It's crazy. Yeah, they're also golden brown on the outside. I don't know if they need more time. Look at that. You said the rolls needed more time last week, and they didn't.
These were the donuts, right?
Undercooked, yeah.
Smell like donuts.
I guess you could put it for 3 more minutes, but you don't want burnt cinnamon rolls. I guess you don't want undercooked cinnamon rolls either.
No, I don't know. I think these are ready.
Everyone's gonna get one, okay? Wow. Homemade sourdough cinnamon buns. 1 bite. Everybody knows rules. Very hot still. It's hot and fresh. It's literally hot and fresh.
I put my finger when I touched it before, like on the pan.
Pillsbury Doughboy who? Charlie D'Lo putting in work. Oh, fire. Drop a bomb on that. She said she fermented it overnight, so it's healthy. It's a health food. You'll be able to have one in a few years. Not today. Look at that middle, though. That is a perfect middle. This might be the best thing to come out of Supwell Kitchen in months. This thing is just crazy. Oh, and the cinnamon sauce, perfectly crisped on the bottom. This is legit taller than the Adios 9. That's about 45 millimeters right there.
It's a Barefoot Mafia winter right now. You know when those temperatures start hitting sub 32 degrees American? Barefoot Mafia loves it because they can come outside in some shorts and a t-shirt and just be in pain for no reason. They're loving this. I can see my breath right now. They're about to pull up in some Tivas. Get voluntary toes cut off. All right, stepping into the Adios Pro. No, this is not the Adios Pro. It's the opposite of a Pro. It's not a hobby jogger either. This is, man. So flexible upper. I did get a 10.5. This fits snug too, and I was deciding on whether I should use warmer socks or just the standard feature socks. But yeah, I would go up half a size in this. Man, we'll see, but yeah, my toe is... So you guys know if you watch the channel, I go 10.5 in pretty much everything. This is a very low volume toe box. My toe is right up at the end here. What did I run yesterday? Yeah, A6 Glide Ride Max 10.5. I think these Adidas shoes, they're just having some issues with the sizing in this generation here. But in terms of stepping in, this honestly feels like a lifestyle shoe. Now, I've never been a fan of the Sambas or that Campus or the Gazelle, but it reminds me of stepping into a more comfortable Kill Shot from Nike. And I know they were trying to make the Evo SL the lifestyle shoe, but that's the red herring. This should be the lifestyle shoe. Delete the green, give us a nice creamy tan colorway. This would pop, and maybe they do have that coming, but man, this should be the lifestyle shoe. Step and feel is extremely comfortable. Matter of fact, I actually have a pair of Adios 8s that I've never worn. Let me go get those. All right, hold on. So a few things here. Yeah, this is super tight. This does not feel like a 10.5 to me. This feels like a 10. So I would go up half a size, but this is the Adios 8. I got it from my friend Ren on the Supwell app a while ago, and I've just never used it for some reason. I just didn't have the right time. I guess because it's almost a barefoot shoe. But bada boom. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's funny. He put it in a Yeezy box. Well, let's see. Bada boom, bada bang. Here we go. So this is the old school Adidas Adios 8. Looks basically brand new. So last version of it. And the reason I was thinking about this is because I know a lot of people did use this version as a lifestyle shoe. But man, so much more comfortable just holding it in my hands. This last generation Adidas Adizero upper was so rigid and not comfortable. The new upper is really nice. Now, key changes here is the new version has 100% Light Strike Pro. This guy, old version, you had the Light Strike 2.0 in the heel, and you had some sort of a plastic piece. So look at that. Yeah, some more rigidity through the back of the platform, but flexible forefoot. Let me lace it up to get a fit and feel comparison. And these look pretty clean. Yeah, older one feels like a Boston 12. A lower stack Boston 12. New one. Yeah, new one feels closer to a Rebel Evo SL type of shoe with the foam. And I had to walk inside to get this. It's not as soft, the new Light Strike Pro in here, or whatever version of Light Strike Pro is in here. It's not as soft, thankfully, as what's in the Evo. But yeah, step-in comfort, way better in the new version, even though upper is significantly roomier in the old one. I believe these are a 10.5 in the old Adios 8. Let me see. Yeah, 10.5. So they have made it shorter. I could get the measuring tools out, and maybe I will, but just in terms of the feel, it tapers way more aggressively. All my toes are right up against the front here versus the old one. Look at this. Oh, you can't even see. Look at this. Look how much room I have up here. The old one in 10.5, there's almost too much room, or there is too much room, and the new one, it's too tight. Just weird. So yeah, I would go half a size up. This is my
index toe, and it's jammed right up against the end. So we're going to have some more toe drama in these today, unfortunately. Let's do a walk test, though, between these two. So the additional room with the bigger fit of the Adios 8 is nice, but the 9 is smoother. Better rocker for sure. The foam just feels so nice underfoot, and maybe it is the same version as in the Pro, maybe it's not, but with a lower stack here, and I really don't think it is because it's just not squishing as much, but it feels pretty much perfect for what you want in a shoe like this. It feels light, the cushion feels decently protective, it feels smooth, not as blocky as the old version. This old version feels way more mechanical. It's reminding me a lot of the Boston 12, which felt like such a tool. Stiff, harsh, rigid, but fast and fun. That's what I'm getting out of the old version. Just, yeah, out here in the cold, this heel feels so hard. That's not the case for the Adios 9. It feels perfectly cushioned. Really pleasant underfoot feel just walking around. And like I said, I know they're trying to make the Evo SL, that lifestyle shoe, but this is it, baby. This is the one you want. If you want something for walking around that's more minimal but still comfortable. And the stability is not too bad because it's lower to the ground. So I'm a fan of these. I just wish I got it a half a size up. I pretty much always get 10.5, and this is really the one case where I'm getting banged recently. Not as bad as the Mach 6, and maybe it'll stretch out a bit as we go. But let's lace up this other one. Yeah, this might be the best low stack shoe, and it doesn't have a lot of competition, direct competition. But in terms of this versus the Hyperion 2, what is it called? Hyperion 2, yeah. And in terms of what I recommend the Hyperion 2 for, which is lighter weight speed, this seems like is gonna be that one. At least from the step-in feel. The foam is really nice. The comfort is there. We'll just have to see how it does out there on the run. Lacing up the other one here. Yeah, this fit is with the upper is just so nice. The lacing system feels perfect. It lays on the top of the foot perfectly. Also, this is interesting. I think my left foot is longer than my right foot. I'm still up at the front here on the right. Not as bad though. Let's just run in these and see. Either way, it is a snugger, more race performance fitting upper. All right, plan for this run. We're going to get 8 miles with some hill work. I want to do some fast repeats up the hill. I am fully
suited and booted, ready to go. You know, we're coming with the full jacket again today. I am going to have to take this off, but Hobby Jogger beanie. By the way, go get your Hobby Jogger beanies at hobbyjogger.com. I have the Hobby Jogger quarter zip. I have my merino base layer. I think I'm just going to go 2 layers today since I'm going to be picking up the pace. And then I do have 2 layers of pants too. So for pants here, I think these are the Dick's Sporting Goods tights with the Dick's Sporting Goods joggers, which are very lightweight. These are summer joggers. It's their Versed brand. They're kind of baggy and they don't go down super long. They're definitely not tall guy joggers, but they'll get the job done. And they're flexible enough and lightweight enough to run fast. But I'm going to go grab the GoPro, clean this up, and then we can hit this run. Let's do it. You already know we had to come through clean today. If I were participating in my own community challenge, I might win best dress. Black hat, black Hobby Jogger quarter zip, black joggers, white shoes with the black stripes. This is the Barefoot Mafia demolition kit. Let's go. All right, let's start this run. Enough talking, more jogging. Oh, oh, it is brisk out here. It is brisk out here. Let me tell you something right now, though. I am happy to report these are not too soft. This is definitely a different foam than the marathon racing shoe. Yeah, not too soft, but so lightweight and streamlined. This reminds me of the run I did a few months ago with the OG Peg Turbo. This is low to the ground, man. But here's the thing. I always talk about the 3 questions of how we analyze these shoes, which I'll break down at the end. But we analyze them versus their intended purpose, versus the category, and versus the market. There's 3 frames. And we have to talk about the intended purpose first. I can't compare this to a Mag Max and say it's a bad shoe because it has half the stack. Because it's not trying to be a protective long run cruiser. And man, for what this is, intended purpose, so far, I can feel the ground. It's low, it's lightweight. I feel like I'm in a dumped M5, just scraping the ground with an obnoxious exhaust. Yeah, this is light, lean, and low. Early overreaction, definitely way less stack than I personally prefer in a daily shoe. But for what it is, for someone who's seeking this type of experience, seems like it'll be solid. But man, it is so low compared to the standard daily trainers of 2024 and 2025. It's almost like I can feel every pebble on top of this road here. If you want some proprioception, this is your ticket. So the reason why people love these shoes that are lower to the ground is because in theory, they're supposed to encourage a certain type of running form. And I can definitely feel myself correcting, right? It's, if you've read any of these training books and they get to the section on form, there's this trope, classic line that's in all of them. And they say, if you're running barefoot, you're not going to be smashing your heel into the ground. Which is right. But we're also not running and racing barefoot, and we don't have a need to because of the technology that exists. So my question with all these things is, do we want our form to be a certain way because we think it's ideal, or do we want to stack mileage and actually get faster? You already know which camp I'm in. Man, I know this measured in low, but this feels even lower than I expected. Yeah, this is wild. There's a reason I don't run these types of shoes. This is definitely lower than the Hyperion 2. This feels like the lowest shoe on the market, which it is. Mile 1, this probably goes without saying, but This is not a relaxed heel striker shoe. That was 726 pace. I'm picking it up. I'm probably at 6 something right now, or getting down to it. Feels much better running fast in these. When I tell you about Nissans, bro, the other day this Nissan was just trailing me, and I turned around. Of course, it had a busted headlight. It's typical Nissan activity. Barefoot Mafia driving their Nissan, staking us out. I'm trying to give you an olive branch rather than the Adios 9, and you're still on my tail out here trailing me. Now, I really don't want this to be a Barefoot Mafia versus Max Cushion Gang debate, but if you look at what the top distance runners, Western distance runners are training in, Rory Linkletter, one of Canada's best marathoners, he's a Puma guy. Connor Mance, one of the fastest US marathoner, second fastest after my guy Simba. Clayton Young, A6 guy. Rory, Mr. Linkletter, I follow him on Strava. He's running the Mag Max or the Forever on Nitro for most of his training miles. And then he puts on the Fast R or the Deviate to race. And sometimes he'll train the Deviate Nitro. Connor Mance, he's in the Vomero a lot of the time. He's a man of taste. Vomero 17. Clayton Young, I've seen him in the Nimbus, the Super Blast, the Nova Blast. I did actually see him in the A6, I think it's called the Hyperspeed. It's a track style, or it's a track style low shoe, but that was actually either for a track workout or a gym session. So top marathoners right now are not doing their training miles in shoes like this. But where these can be good is for the development of speed mechanics. For most of us out there who are marathon training, this would not be the daily trainer I recommend. Unless you like misery and pain for no reason, then welcome to Barefoot Mafia. Also, I'm not sure if it's the shoe or just me, because I'm tired this week. I just haven't been feeling it. I think there's something going around my house as well, but that was a 7:06 mile. I thought I was going 6:40 or 6:50. So, not as much speed assistance in these. Yes, they have the race foam, but they're not giving me as much pop as a taller stack shoe, which is what we'd expect. Definitely a shoe that makes you do the work. Now I've done a few pace pickups here, trying to prep my body for this hill workout, and I'm not getting that crazy bounce that I would expect. Maybe it's just so low stack that there's not enough foam to give a bounce. And with those old school racing shoes, it wasn't about the bounce at all. It was purely about the lightweight. And that's what this feels like. It's almost like they put Light Strike Pro in here, not for the speed and bounce, but purely because it's the lightest weight compound they have. But we'll see how it does with a few more miles of break-in, and once we get cranking on this actual workout. Anachronism, that's the word of the day. This shoe is an anachronism. It's hard to say an anachronism. This is from a different time. This shoe is, it's an OG. It's a throwback. Bro, this feels even lower than the Adios 8. And I think it is, because the Adios 8 I don't know if I mentioned this, but on the side, it had 28 millimeters stamped, and this has 27. So this is even lower. This is an anachronism. It's dangerous. I don't trust people who want to go back in time. You gotta watch out for those people. So we're at mile about 3.5, almost 4. So far this foam is underwhelming. The new version of Lightstrike Pro was softer for sure, and I did not like how that heel felt in the Pro 4, Adios Pro 4, but it was definitely fast and explosive. This feels just okay, but if it is the last version, which we know from the Boston 12, the Adios 8, the Adios Pro 3, it's gonna require some braking. So with a shoe like this, where you're not gonna be putting your 12-mile midweek run or your 16-mile long run on it, maybe the best way to break it in is walking. Use it as your house slipper for a week before you take it to the track. Cause yeah, I'm underwhelmed at the bounce when I'm trying to pick it up. I'm gonna throw some strides in here to warm up, see if it gets any better. Yeah, it just feels like I'm doing a lot of the work. But again, maybe it's because it's just so thin. Yeah, I just don't know why I would intentionally run in a shoe that's less comfortable and less protective. It just does not make sense to me. Why? Now, in a world where all these stacks are going above 40 millimeters, I understand a place in the market for this. But to me, so far, it feels the optimal version of this shoe for what it's trying to do still would have been 2 to 3 millimeters taller, because at this stack level so far I'm just not getting much benefit at all from the foam. And yes, they have the Evo SL, but that is way on the other end of the spectrum in terms of the stack. Yeah, just 2 millimeters more, and I'm thinking we would have gotten more of that lively Lightstrike Pro experience. That's my biggest surprise with this shoe. I expected it to feel light. I expected the ground feel. It's not even the lack of protection. That's not why it needs the additional 2 millimeters. It's really the bounce. I'm just not getting that Lightstrike Pro bounce. Feels very workmanlike, which is not what you'd expect from a sub 200 gram lightweight speed shoe. Back in my day, that would have been a Max Cushion Gang Cruiser. You young bucks. Mile 5, I'm gonna do 3 more strides, 2 minutes hard uphill. And then once we get to the steepest section of the big hill, we're gonna start the sprint workout. So see you up there. Woo! All right, 2 minutes exactly by feel. Look at that. 5:40 pace up the hill. This is what I'm saying about training by feel and by vibes. It will infiltrate all the areas of your running. You'll get a better sense of what paces feel like, what time feels like. That was exactly 2 minutes and I wasn't looking at my watch, so training by feel will help you. But I did warm up for this, 6 strides, and then 2 minutes hard uphill. Now I'm gonna let my system cool for a second, and then we're gonna start some hill sprint. So I wanted a good long workout, or sorry, warm up, to make sure that my body is fully primed and ready to go. You don't want to be cold coming into a hill workout or any sort of maximal intensity workout. I might even stop my watch for a second here. Alright, so this is the steepest hill in the neighborhood right up here. I'm gonna bang 5 to 8 reps of this, just attacking it as hard as I can. 95% effort up this hill. This is a strength and power workout. This is strength training right here. Running specific strength training. I'm gonna start from this black up the hill. There's literally a dead bird at the top. It's disgusting. Blue Jeep has been just circling. It's legit Barefoot Mafia. What the heck? Mini Cooper's staking us out too. We're distance runners, and we measure things in seconds. I was banging those out all around 11 seconds. Maybe one of them was 10, so dead even. That's all we can ask for. Putting down some power. Goal, running economy. I've been talking about this all week. That's my goal right now. Running economy, making faster paces feel easier. So this should build more strength. These types of workouts should translate into us putting down more power through our stride efficiently and easier. So say I'm putting down a certain level of power at a 7:30 pace. By doing this consistently and all the other things with training, I'll be able to put down that same amount of power and get a 7:15 pace. Or a greater level of power will have me running at the same heart rate and effort. So that's the goal. We're at 8.7 miles. I'm gonna cool to 10. There's the bird. I was running past that every time. Disgusting. RIP. I think I might do this in a different section of the neighborhood next time. There's weirdly high traffic over here. But we got it done. Hill workout in the books. Gosh dang, man, look around. There is no life out here. Gray skies, stripped trees. Weirdly, that sounded like Manny the Butcher. I don't know why. That's a good morning right there. That's the best I've felt on a run all week for sure. Who would have thought it was in the Barefoot Mafia 19s? 10 miles, 40 hundredths, 1 hour, 17 minutes, 25 seconds, 7:27 pace. For a workout like this, average pace does not matter. But man, it's so nice to switch it up. And that's the thing. If you're feeling stagnant with training, say you've been doing a lot of speed work and you feel that you've been stagnant, chill with the speed and get some mileage. If you've just been crushing mileage, working up to 50, 60 miles a week, and you feel that all your runs you're just tired and slogging along, try taking a down week and incorporating some speed. Whatever you're not doing, if you're plateauing or feeling stuck, try doing the opposite. Now, don't do anything super crazy. Say you're running 60 miles a week and you haven't done a speed work in 3 months. Don't just go out and try to run 19 reps of 800 meters at 5K pace, but within reason, like today. And getting a solid warm-up is so important. So for that warm-up, I basically warmed up for almost an hour. I did 6 miles with 2 miles of strides spaced out, and then 2 minutes hard uphill. And that hard uphill is prepping the body for running even harder uphill. But Adios 9, this is a cheeky little shoe. One thing before we get started here. All right, I'm tired and I am done running for the morning, probably for the day. I think I'm gonna double because it's a snow day. See if I can get off work early and just hang out with the kids. But yeah, these are not a Rebel V3. I put the Rebel V3 on for the breakdown here. I pulled them out of the bottom of the closet. They had some dust bunnies on them. I'm never giving these things away. I love these. And these are so much softer, so much more comfortable. It feels more like a normal sneaker, the Rebel V3. These feel really stripped down. This is a super simple, no frills, basic shoe, which no amount of race foam at this stack height can change. They could have used rubber, they could have used cement, and I don't think it would have changed the ride experience all that much. But let's get into it. We got 10 miles in the Adios 9. Barefoot Mafia strikes back. Let's throw it up. So I wanted to test these with a workout or a run that was true to the spirit and character of this shoe. Now, this shoe is a lightweight, extremely lightweight, featherweight speed shoe that is designed either for people who want a shoe that harkens back to what old school racing flats are, or people who want something stripped down that will help them train the mechanics that are necessary for speed. And so I'm in the latter camp. I do not like low stack shoes. I don't even like looking at low stack shoes. I hate how they look, except for this. I actually love how this thing looks. But I do understand the place on the market for lower stack shoes and the place in our rotation, some of us, for lower stack shoes. Now, you do not need a shoe for every run of the week. However, it's going to be a lot smoother and simpler trying to do a speed workout like this, where we're doing hill sprints in this shoe versus something like the New Balance 1080 V13 or the Adidas Primex Strong 2. You can do it. You can do it in anything, but I prefer a lighter weight shoe. Now, if you do have a lighter weight daily trainer like a Rebel V4, a Nike Pegasus Plus, even a standard Nike Pegasus, that will be fine. But this is the optimal shoe. In theory, it's designed to be the optimal shoe for what we did today, or going to the track and doing some sort of interval session if you do not want to be training in a higher stack shoe. Now, the thing is, in 2024 and 2025, if you look at any of the elite marathoners, they're doing nearly all of their speed workouts, marathon pace, 5K pace, mile repeats, whatever it is, in what a lot of people call super shoes, or what I just call the marathon racing shoes. So 40 millimeter stack height of race foam with some sort of reinforcement in there. Either the rods in the case of Adidas, which this does not have, it is a flexible platform. So either the rods or a carbon fiber plate. There's an ultra runner, David Roche. He's not sponsored. He loves the Adios Pro 3. I think he also loves the Alpha Fly, and I've listened to him talk a lot about how he runs his workouts in the race shoes because they're more fun and because he feels that they're more protective and recovery is so much better. So a shoe like this is not the most technologically advanced. This is going back in time. With the higher stacks of foam, the race foam allow us to do is to run harder, run farther, run faster. Anecdotally, there's no lab evidence, but guess what? This is the thing. If you read enough of the running literature, you will find that the coaches and the athletes who are putting theory into practice and practicing theory and finding what works discover the best training methods way before the scientists do. And it's most of the time the scientists are trying to figure out, why is this thing working that the athletes are doing? So if the elites are doing it most of the time, it's for a reason. They're not just randomly doing stuff. The reason elites are running in the race shoes is not just because they're the most fun. It's because they're helping the recovery and they're making it easier to hit these faster paces for a sustained period of time. So you can get more intensity. That's what we want as athletes, right? As endurance athletes, we want the maximum amount of aerobic intensity or anaerobic intensity, whatever it is that we're trying to develop. We want the maximum amount of stress on our system to get the adaptation with the lowest amount of the type of stress on our system that causes injury. So highest chance of getting the benefit with the lowest chance of risk. A shoe like this does not accomplish that mission, but it's not designed to do that. And there are so many shoes, even in the Adidas lineup. They have 5 shoes that are designed for that. Boston 12, Adios Pro 4, Evo SL, Primex Strong 2. Was there one more? Adizero SL2. 5 shoes. There might even be more, 1 or 2 more than, Takumi Sen, right? You could boot so they have tons of shoes that are designed for speed workouts that have those higher stacks above 30 millimeters, above 35 millimeters that are designed for various distances. And of course we can slice and dice the market in 117 different compartments and different segments and say this is for 7-mile runs between 5K and 10K pace repeats. This is for 20-mile runs with marathon pace. This is for short recovery runs. And of course, I am part of the gosh dang problem because I always try to find what each shoe is best for. And I say, well, this is great if you're looking for a softer shoe for 6-mile recovery. And then someone says, oh, I didn't even know I need that. And then they buy it. So yeah, I'm part of the problem too. Point being, there are a ton of shoes on the market. I just named, 6 in Adidas's lineup that have that effect of lowering the stress on the body for longer, harder workouts. There's not a ton of shoes on the market that do what this does right here, right? This was the lightest one in the office that we measured. It's the lowest one. So it is a completely unique shoe offering a different experience than anything else on the market. And I haven't personally tested a barefoot shoe. This is the closest you can get though from a mainstream brand, especially with this stack here. So it's blending elements of those higher stack, more technologically advanced shoes with that old school stripped down streamlined feel. So I will likely not be using this for a 20-mile long run with 8 miles at marathon pace because there's just so many better options on the market for it. But for a workout like today, again, let's throw it up. This was the perfect shoe. So with that, let us answer these 3 questions that we always answer. And I'm excited to do it this way with this frame because this is the perfect shoe to go through this analysis. First question being, how does a shoe match up versus its intended purpose? And we have to start there with this shoe because if you buy this expecting something different, you are going to be so disappointed. So the intended purpose of this shoe, again, is to be that stripped down, streamlined speed mechanics shoe. It's extremely lightweight. The upper is beautiful. It fits great. Now, I'm still not sold on whether you want to go true to size or half a size up. And I know a lot of people have been on that line with this current generation of Adidas shoes. So this is just going to be another one. Fits similarly to the Adios Pro 4. So if you have the Pro 4, I would just get the same size that works for you. Now, because you're likely not going to be taking this out for a 30-mile run or a 20-mile run, you could do with the smaller size. So if you're planning on just using this for those shorter, faster workouts, you'll probably be okay with your smaller size. But intended purpose, fast, streamlined, sharp, nimble feeling shoe, it does a great job at that. Now, the one place where I'm not 100% sold is the foam. I am actually disappointed at how the foam feels in here because everything else about the shoe feels as I expected, low to the ground, light, and maybe even feels lower than I expected, quite honestly. I think I was expecting more of a Rebel V3, especially given the way the market evolved. I thought there was no way this would feel lower than the last generation of low daily trainers, but I think Adidas's position here is we have the Evo SL. We have the Adizero SL2. We don't need to give another shoe that you can do for longer speed workouts. We're just going to cut out all the excess and give the most strip line thing possible. I think that's actually harming the shoe, and if they had put 2 more millimeters of foam in the back and in the front, it would have more of that explosively bouncy experience. But again, I'm contradicting myself here maybe because I said the race shoe is too soft. Now I'm saying this isn't bouncy enough. Not that it's too soft, but I'm wanting more from this foam experience. I will give it some time to break in. But that is the one area versus the intended purpose where I'm not as blown away as I was hoping. It doesn't even feel as bouncy as the Rebel V3. It doesn't feel as bouncy as the Pegasus Plus. Doesn't feel as bouncy as the Hyperion 2. But maybe that is just purely by virtue of the 27mm stack, and it's not possible for a shoe to feel bouncy being this low. So maybe it's just by virtue of how this shoe is designed, right? It's like with the Neo Zen. It's not the most stable shoe, but I was saying it's not designed to be the most stable shoe because it has the tall stack and they're trying to accomplish a lighter weight. But lightweight, yes, lightest shoe out there. Fast, yes. I felt so locked in. My mechanics felt so clean and so sharp. Hitting those hill repeats, I was clipping them off all around the same pace. And the benefit of a shoe like this is it completely gets out of the way. And that's the purpose of a barefoot shoe. This is not a barefoot shoe, but having that streamlined construction, that is what this is trying to accomplish. Adidas wants to give you a shoe that's going to let you do the work. Now, again, if you are doing 20-mile double days, if you're doing these long grinder 20-mile workouts or threshold mile repeats, you don't want a shoe that's making you do all the work, because that's just putting more stress on the body for no reason, and we're going to need to recover so we can get more aerobic work, more tax on the body, and still recover. For a workout like this that's purely about speed, strength, and power, I'm fine doing all the work. Matter of fact, I want to feel all the work. I want as much work as possible within a short period of time. That's the definition of a sprint workout. That's the whole purpose. You want to be going hard every time. It's hard and fast, and I want to be getting as much intensity within a short period of time, and this shoe allows me to do that. If I had a shoe that was just bopping me up the hill, making it feel effortless, that wouldn't allow me to accomplish the purpose of the workout. So you have to think about the tool that will help you do the job, and this is that. And when I was going up the hill doing those 8 repeats, and it was 11 seconds of work each, that's 88 seconds. So that was only 90 seconds of functional work accomplishing the purpose of this workout. So for the other, and this is what I always talk about with these shoes, especially recently, that was a 10.5 mile run, 10.4 mile run, but the targeted work of that workout was only 90 seconds. So do I want the shoe that's gonna feel good for the other 10 miles or for the 90 seconds? That's a question for you to decide. If you are going to the track, this is how I think about it, right? Maybe I warm up in something else and then I switch into this for the strides and for the sprints. And that's what a lot of sprinters do, and that's what even some of the elites do. I've seen, right? Clayton Young, Connor Mintz, they'll warm up in their Vomeros and their Nova Blasts, and they go to the track and they put the Alpha Fly and the Metaspeed on. So that perhaps could be the type of shoe that this is. You warm up and whatever else, put this on. I do have to say, though, and let's go to the second question, how does this compare to its competitors? Now, the competitors which I will put this up against will be those $140 speed-oriented shoes. So the Hyperion 2s, the Rebels, even Asics Noosa Tri. This is the least protective by far. By far, man. If you think the Hyperion 2 felt low, just wait till you try this. If you got this feels so low. This is going to feel lower than you even expect, especially when the foam is not broken in. It does not feel protective. It has no give whatsoever. It is a very thin feeling platform. So versus every single other $140 shoe. And by the way, the other shoe that's missing from this conversation is the Topo Cyclone. That's a shoe that a lot of people use, but I didn't like it that much. But even versus that, this feels pretty low, maybe even equivalent to that. So maybe I'll have to do a head-to-head or just get another workout out. But that's how low we're talking here. We're talking Topo Cyclone, maybe even lower, more stripped down, streamlined than the Topo Cyclone. It's like a gosh dang auto show out here this morning. Lower than the Rebel V4 by far, way lower than the Peg Plus, and you saw that comes through on the scale with the weight numbers. Just given the light weight of this, there's not a lot of stack, there's not a lot of support in it. So versus everything else in the category, $140 non-plated speed, this is not protected. But that would be the Adizero SL2, right? So Adidas, they have so many shoes, man. They just have so many shoes, and they have really made this a specialized tool. They have the Adizero SL, they have the Evo SL, they have the Boston, they have the Takumi Sen. They're not trying to make it one of those. They're giving this its own thing, and it is totally unique, and there isn't even a true competitor except maybe that Topo Cyclone and maybe the Asics Hyperspeed shoe and shoes like that, which I haven't really tried. There was a Nike that came out recently too, right? I'm forgetting it, but it was the Rival Fly. I'm thinking that's kind of the vibe of this. It's not even really Hyperion. So for daily miles, I'm going for the Hyperion. I'm going even for the Rebel. I'm going for whatever else over the Pegasus Plus, 100%, man. I've done an 18-mile double in the Pegasus Plus. This is not a shoe that I personally am pulling for anything other than the type of workout we did today. Maybe I would take it out for some 400s or 800s, but it really feels like a specialized speed tool, which brings me to my third question where we talk about price. How does this compare to everything else on the market? And with that, it is a value question. $140, that feels appropriate to me. Now that does go up against all those $140 daily trainers. So if we are strictly talking about value, not a great value because it is a specialized tool unless you really like low to the ground, almost barefoot type shoes, then you'll use this as a daily trainer. But for the vast majority of hobby joggers out there, you are not going to be using this as a daily trainer. Maybe you'll pop on the treadmill with it. It would be a fun gym shoe and casual shoe, and I'm actually looking forward to putting this on this summer. This is going to be hobby jogger chic with my 5-inchers on, some salmon 5-inchers, get the new Supwell swag. We're gonna have some new Supwell swag coming, get some florals, some pastels for the summer with the hobby jogger trucker. That's gonna look clean. But for some everyday miles, So $140 feels right to me if you want a specialized tool, but you gotta keep in mind, it's not a Takumi Sen, it's not an Evo SL, it's not an SL2. Adidas already has those shoes. And if you're coming from shoes like the Mag Max, Super Blast, even the 1080s of the world, Supernova Primas of the world, DV8 Nitro 3s of the world, Saucony Endorphin Speeds of the world, this is going to take an adjustment period. Now for me, it took about 2 to 3 miles to adjust. Maybe it'll be the same for you, but it could even be a few runs. You certainly have to adjust your form. Running in this, it's not a shoe where you can just hang back and be relaxed. And it's not a shoe where it even feels great for relaxed miles at all. Now, I do think it's going to break in, have more comfort, have 5 to 7% of a softer feel as Light Strike Pro does, but it's not a comfort cruiser. It is a speed tool. So if you are looking for that in your rotation, give this a shot. But for most people, there's not going to be the use case of this is just so narrow. And if you go to the other end of the spectrum with the Super Max Stack shoes, right, the Skyward X, the Mag Max, the Glycerin Max, those have a lot more comfort to them, so the use case is broader. Now, of course, you can do anything in this shoe. I ran a 27-mile long run in the gosh dang Streak Fly, but it's just what's going to be the most fun and the most optimal and the most comfortable for a lot of people. And I think if you tried to do a 20-mile long run in this out of the box, you could do it, but you probably wouldn't be having a lot of fun. I can tell you that right now. So overall, after the first run, I enjoy it for what it is. It knocks it out of the park for its intended purpose. I am hoping to get more excitement out of this foam with some miles, but it's also potentially just because it's so low stack, it's not going to give us much bounce. Who's going to like this? If you're a type of person who, say you just started running again, you ran 10, 15 years ago, and you're looking for footwear that was like those old ASIC shoes from back in the day that was low to the ground, then this is going to be the best option. I still do think the Hyperion 2, though, just a much better option, much better choice overall. It has more comfort, feels more reliable, more rubber coverage, overall feels more like a daily trainer. This feels like a stripped down, streamlined speed shoe. And the other category of people, if you do a lot of track days, you're working on the development of speed, this is going to be great. If you're looking for something to go to the gym, do some HIIT style gym workouts, this could be great too. I would suggest using my Running Warehouse link, not just to support the channel, but that's a good reason to do it, but also to get the right size, to make sure you can get the right size, because you might want your standard true to size. If you know you're going to want more room, say you're going to be training with thick socks this winter, you're going to want to go half a size up in this Hondo P. So that's all I have for you guys today. Adidas Adios 9, Barefoot Mafia back in action. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Bro, the Rebel V3 is really the lightweight speed goat. I love this shoe. Top 5 favorite shoe of all time. It is so comfortable. This version of Fuel Cell, elite. Rebel V4, man, so disappointing. After everything else has come out, it's just so disappointing. This V3 is a banger.